Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. One of the things that people will require on the Day of Judgment is direction. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks to us in the Quran describing the way people will come out of their graves on the Day of Judgment in many ways. And one of those ways that He describes is in Surah Az-Zilzal, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَئِذٍ يَصْدُرُ النَّاسُ أَشْتَاتًا لِيُرَوْا أَعْمَالَهُم. On that day, people will come out of their graves ashtatan. And that basically means disorganized, in a way which is not grouped together, in a way where they're not collected together in one way. And they will come out, يَصْدُرُ النَّاسِ. Okay? As soon as we hear the word sudur or yasdur, then we immediately think of another word which is wurud. Now, what does each of these words mean? Or what does each of them mean? Al-wurud is when you end up going to a specific place. So today we are walking this earth and all of us will be going 6 feet under. When you are going to a specific location, then all of you have a specific destination and that's where you're going, and for us that happens to be 6 feet under. But when it comes to leaving a place, then people have different directions that they end up taking. Let me give you an example. Right now, each one of us, our direction after we die, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us husnul khatimah, a good ending, is 6 feet under the ground. But afterwards, we will all come out. Similarly, when, let's say, you're going to pick up some mail and you happen to be going to the post office, everyone who is picking up the mail is going in one direction, and that is the post office. Then everyone will walk away and they will walk into different directions. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes to capture the scene within the Quran by using the word sudur, where He says, يَوْمَئِذٍ يَصْدُرُ النَّاسِ. On that day, people will start to come out of the ground just the way you would be coming out of a post office in different directions, and you have no direction on the Day of Judgment. Ashtatan, disorganized, without a direction. لِيُرَوْا أَعْمَالَهُمْ. Why are they coming out? They're coming out to be questioned about their actions. This is one scene that Allah's capturing. But after the scene, there's another scene. But Allah describes this very scene that I spoke about in an even more rhetorically powerful way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that يَوْمَ يَكُونُ النَّاسُ كَالْفَرَاشِ الْمَبْثُوثِ. On that day, when people will become like a moth which happens to be spread. What does that mean? We said already people are coming out without direction, isn't that so? So a moth doesn't have direction as well. You see, a fly, if it's around you, you can shoo away the fly and the fly is going to go in the direction that you're moving your hand. Whereas a moth, if you go and even tickle that moth, it might end up flying the direction that you never expected it to go. As you know, if you have ever seen and dealt with a moth, you'd know that it doesn't have any specific direction that it goes. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that on that day people will be like moths which are spread all around, have no direction yet again, but then Allah gives them direction. Direction to what? Every person will be called by their Imam. يَوْمَ نَدْعُو كُلَّ أُنَاسٍ بِإِمَامِهِمْ. On that day, we will call every single person by their Imam, i.e. those people who they followed. So those who followed Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be their Imam. Those people who followed people who are not so righteous, people who are transgressors, they will be paired up with those people and they will be their Imams. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes this scene and He says, خُشَّ عَنْ أَبْصَارُهُمْ يَخْرُجُونَ مِنَ الْأَجْدَاثِ كَأَنَّهُمْ جَرَادٌ مُنْتَشِرٌ. Their eyes will be wide open, they will be coming out of the ground of their graves, كَأَنَّهُمْ جَرَادٌ مُنْتَشِرٌ. Like they happen to be what? Like they happen to be jarad, muntashir, spread out. Like they happen to be lotus, which happens to be spread. Grasshoppers, which are spread all around. Now, the difference between a moth and a grasshopper is a grasshopper hops. But if you notice, grasshoppers, they end up hopping with direction. If you've ever seen a collection of them, they go together in pairs. Even if there happens to be one flock of them and another one, they're going to crisscross, but they're not going to lose direction. They're jumping in a specific direction. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that now after the people have been called by their imams and they know who they're following, now they will all get paired together and now they will be going with direction. If you want direction to Jannah in the afterlife, then that direction can only be found by you following the direction of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this life. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us direction in this life and the hereafter. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.